And good morning. Welcome to Today at the Races, presented by Fidelity First. I'm Stanton Salter along with Keith Fustel. Happy Breeders' Cup Friday. It's Breeders' Cup time out there at Santa Anita. We'll talk about that. You can watch all the Breeders' Cup action right here at Laurel Park. Let's recap Thursday. A little warmer yesterday. A little temperature change today. It's going to be brisk.
A little shock to the system, huh?
Brisk fall weather this weekend for Breeders' Cup. And how about yesterday? How about the amateur race? My 11-1 shot getting home with Taylor Leatherman. Nice ride there by Taylor Leatherman. I believe that was Here Comes Mongo at a big price in the amateur race yesterday.
Beautiful job. You got the horse to relax. Just sat outside the pace setter, and when she asked to go, it was all over. Just a mile drive, confidently handled the way you're supposed to do it through the final eighth of a mile for Leatherman. Yeah, that was great. And on the bottom side, great pickup, and I missed it. Horatius in the slop.
Right.
That was one of our old angles back, years back in the press box. You don't see too many Horatius still in the breeding, but boy, that's the one thing taken into consideration. They always like the off track.
All right, so that was yesterday. Let's get right to today. We're off the turf today. Let's show you a picture of the main track. No turf, but the main track looks pretty good. We're going to have a fast track to kick things off, right, Keith?
Well, when you have 80-mile-an-hour winds, as we had it felt like last night. I went outside the yard, nothing but trees and limbs down, fences down. So, the brisk, the wind, it got this place dried up quickly. So main track, it looks great out there right now. Fast track to get you started.
All right, beautiful. Good stuff there. It's Breeders' Cup Friday. We told you that. Let's show you what's going on. You can watch all the Breeders' Cup action right here at Laurel Park. It's going to go late into the night tonight and tomorrow night for that Breeders' Cup Classic. The Preakness winner, War of Will, a big long shot in the Breeders' Cup Classic tomorrow. He's getting blinkers on for the first time. He might be the speed in the Classic tomorrow. But how about the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Filly Turf Race today? You have two Maryland breds in there, including a Laurel Park Stakes winner, Sharing, who just won the Salima. Sharing's in there for Graham Motion. Then Chad Brown has a Maryland bred filly in there. My top pick, Selflessly, number 13 at Santa Anita, race 8 today.
I thought that was a really, really tough race. We talked about Graham yesterday with Sharing. That boy visually looked great doing it at Laurel. Yeah, the competition a little bit stiffer this afternoon, but brings his horses along steadily. I think she can improve and get into the money in that race. If you're looking for a horse today, I go to the juvenile fillies. I like British Idiom. I like the horse for Brad Cox. Liked her race last time out down at Keeneland. A little bit of trouble early. She dropped back, relaxed, and made a good circling, confident move. She's going to be tough right back.
All right, so you can watch all the Breeders' Cup action from Santa Anita right here at Laurel Park. Go over to that sports book, grab a couch or table up there and watch it on that 75-foot LED wall. So that's Breeders' Cup. Let's get right to race 1 today. We have a nice little carryover in the opener to kick off that rolling super high 5. There's the carryover, a little over 3,400. That's a low 15% takeout. The rolling super high 5. We have every race with 7 or more horses, so keep your eye on that throughout the day. Also, race 1 kicks off the early pick 5, industry low, 12% takeout on this early pick 5, and it's a mandatory payout on the early pick 5. I have tickets today for both pick 5s. Let's take a look. You can study my tickets and all of our picks for today at laurelpark.com. Underneath the handicapping section. Here's my early pick 5 ticket. I think race 1's wide open. I go 5 deep here in the opener. Maybe I can get a price here in race 1. My single comes in race 3. In race 3, I like the 4. Brooks Robinson ran lights out last time for Hugh McMahon. We have that video. We'll show you that when we get to race 3. I key on the 4, Brooks Robinson, for my early pick 5 ticket. Let's take a look here at race 1. Going 6 furlongs on the main track, originally carded on the main track. They only had 2 races carded on the turf today, races 7 and 11. So 7 and 11 off the turf. Everything else originally carded on the main track. Main track fast. 6 furlongs here in the opener. Maiden claiming $25,000 for 2-year-old. Scratch the 1 Wicked Sun, but the 1A does run here in the opener. That's my top pick. I guess let's see the stat first. Let's check out the stat on Walkaway Joe. Here you go.
Walkaway Joe. I'm going to look for a little bit of a price upsetter here with Hammy Smith, and this move has been good over the last year. I know it's a smaller sample, but he's been doing a lot of late. A couple more, I think, are going to fit this bill through tomorrow and Sunday. But the past year, 3 for 4, 75%. 2-year-old maidens, turf to dirt, and adding the blinkers. Look at that ROI stand of $7.40. And Walkaway Joe had a little trouble top of the stretch in that debut on September the 27th. But, boy, found room and really finished up well. Just an even trial on the turf course. Comes back to the right surface today. I think he can run into the speed and wear him down.
All right, I like him. He had trouble in his debut and didn't like the turf last time. Gets blinkers today, so I use him in my exact. I have the 1A Gone Home on top for John Salzman Sr. Kenny Taylor, the owner here. Jorge Riaz rides this 2-year-old by despite the odds. A useful second last down right here at Laurel when it came off the turf. Maiden 25, small 5-horse field, but he's run a couple other okay races on the main track. I hope Riaz gives him a forwardly placed stalking trip and gets a good trip here on Gone Home.
Certainly fits in the 9. How about created special for Jeremiah O'Dwyer? We get Sheldon Russell, Lasix on, turf to dirt. Second out, dirt sprints is a very strong angle for him. I think I've got a little stat later on a horse that we'll give to you for that. But I tell you got to take it in serious consideration, this 9. And O'Dwyer has become a presence here with these 2-year-olds especially.
Sure. How about Claudio's got a 10-1 shot here in the opener. I use on my early pick 5 to 3. Mucho Macho Danny. My Mucho Macho, man, they tried going a mile in debut against Maiden 40. Showed a little speed, got bumped around, and got tired. Now we drop. We cut back to 6 furlongs. We get 5 pounds off with the apprentice. The 3, Mucho Macho Danny, could be a live long shot here in race 1. So I go 5 deep to kick off the early pick 5. Race 2 kicks off the early pick 4. We're going 6 furlongs, claiming 16,000 filly and mares. 3 and up, never won 2 lifetime. We both have the 3 on top. True Prosperity for Rory Houston. Trevor McCarthy will ride this filly. A big third 3 starts ago at Monmouth. The horse that was second in that race, Gibby, came back to win. And then tried turf. No good. Didn't like the turf. That starter allowance last out at Delaware. Maybe a little too tough. She didn't run too bad in that race, going a mile. Now we drop today. We cut back to 6 furlongs. You get McCarthy. So we both have the 3 on top.
Yeah, she and the 9, the Claudio horse, look like the true 6 furlong horses that want to make a move into it. Some questionable speed types, a lot of chasers, the horses that flatten out. I think the best sustainable runs in race 2 will come from the 3 and the 9. Looking at the 3's last race, True Prosperity, that Estorina came out of that race to be the favorite in one of the Maryland Million races, and Navis Gal came back to run big. So 3 of the 9 for me in race 2. Let's go to the 3rd.
Yeah, it looks like we like the same for filly and mares there in race 2. Race 3 here, we're going 6 furlongs, 25,000 starter allowance, 3 and up. Never won 3 are the conditions. We both have the 4 on top. Brooks Robinson, let's show you his last race. October 11th, he'd had a few months off, and Hugh McMahon had him ready to roll on October 11th. 4-year-old by Not for Love, won by 6 1/4 with a lifetime best 85 Beyer speed figure.
Yeah, 22 and change, 44 and change, and doesn't really get set down to about the 3/16 pole there. You see to the strong left-handed urging through the final furlong. Very eager to the wire. Now you worry, this is a big effort off of a layoff from June, October. Is he going to bounce? Well, the one thing in the favor, if you like Brooks Robinson, Hugh McMahon is 5 for 12. That's 42%. Second off of a layoff with dirt sprinters, okay, coming off of that top fig. So, they usually kind of hold form. Yeah, he's going to have to maybe deal with Baron of Bluegrass up on the front end as well today. So, but he's shown a rating gear in the past. The 6th, that's the only question. Is that going to be his nemesis? He might be a little bit better at 5.5. But, man, visually, that was awfully good last out.
All right, so we both have Brooksy on top. You have the 7 Cape Lookout in the exact. I like the 7 as well. You're getting 5 pounds off with Julio Correa. A good third at this level last out for Mike Trombetta.
There's the hunch play of the day, gentlemen, here walking by the paddock with an Orioles jacket on. Brooksy Robinson, get it done, right? Yeah. I think the 7's going to make a good run in here. Second time back sprinting in a row. May lay a little bit closer by the time they turn for home. Expect a big late charge for Cape Lookout.
All right, so we both have Brooks Robinson on top here in race 3. He's my key horse on the early pick 5. Let's turn to race 4. You like the early pick 4. Starts here. The middle pick 4. I'm sorry, the early pick 4 starts race 2. The middle pick 4 starts here in the 4th race. You have a ticket. Let's check it out.
Yeah, $16 ticket king. Obviously on Arafana is going to be a lot of singles for her. But I go 1, 2, 4, 6. I struggled a little bit with race 4. I think it's a tricky little allowance race. It's a 2 other than optional. 5th race, 2 deep with the 6 and the 8, both coming out of the Maryland Million Classic. 6th race, we're going to single Arafana. Can't wait to watch her run again. Going to have to deal with Navarro with the shipper here, the 1 tweeting from the rail. 7th race, we go 4 deep. 5, 10, 13, 14. Sparty, the real true proven winner of this group.
All right, let's take a look here at race 4. Nice upper level allowance, optional, claiming 35,000 filly and mares 3 and up. 6 furlongs on the main track here, and the 6 10 count out I have on top. I made this mare my best bet of the day. Look at her last race on the main track early July. It was a muddy track. She won by 8 with an 82 Beyer speed figure, but she's won on a fast track as well right here at Laurel Park. Last April she did it, so she's 2 for 3 in the money here at Laurel. Alex Centron, a big 3-win day yesterday. He'll get a nice trip with this City Zip mare on the outside. She has early speed. She can go right to the front if she wants, or just hit a nice stalking trip on the outside.
Cameo, an up-and-coming trainer as well, and they, he trains to do anything. He's well-rounded right now, and it looks like he's got a bright future as a trainer. 10 count out off the claim. A lot of speed. Improved number on the turf. Can she bring it back to the dirt? I think she can. She's awfully fast. I was hoping some moisture would stay in this racetrack. She's really good on a muddy to sloppy surface, but 10 count out. I think she can outrun Discreet Deceit early, try to get a little breather around the turn and see if she can hang on for dear life. I think Phantom Shots is a great trip with Ruiz for Donnie Barr. Is going to escape at a little bit of a price, and honest, doesn't win a lot, okay? At this distance, she's only, 1 for 23. But let me tell you something, picks up a lot of checks. She's that perfect horse to sit, make a move into this flow. She will again today.
Yeah, we like the same 3 on top here. Lady by Choice got beat by Phantom Shot last out, but she had a big sharp win the time before with a 79 Beyer. Maybe she bounces back to a bigger effort like that today.
Yeah, I think just Rally ripped the hearts out of those horses that day, Stan. The hood went on for Dale Capuano's right to the front, and the rest were just left in the dust. So, yeah, I think she'll bounce back with a good trip, a stalking trip in here. She'll be sitting off the speed. That Discreet Deceit may be able to get tied up with 10 count out.
All right, so we have the 6 on top. We like the same 3 on top there in race 4. Let's take a look here at the 5th. Race 5, we're going 7 furlongs. Nice first level allowance condition for Maryland bred, Maryland sired horses 3 and up. We both have the 8 on top here. On the outside, the 8 Tappin' Cat. We have a video. Let's show you the video from the what race is this
Maryland
from?
Million
Million Classic.
Yeah, my bad,
race,
Stan.
okay?
Yeah, and caught wide into the first turn. You're going to see Tappin' Cat there. A little bit of a steady, maybe 4 and 5 wide. Even further out was Torch of Truth. There's the 8 Tappin' Cat. Even a late little steady, just a little hesitant to kind of go through that seam heading past the 7/8 pole. And Torch of Truth, those two pretty much took the worst of it in a race where there's, the flow was kind of slow. But they both continue willingly to the wire. Tapping Cat about in the 6th path. They're very, very wide was Torch of Truth for Ness and McCarthy. But I'll tell you, both finished up quite well. These two right back shortening up 7/8 should be perfect for both of them.
All right, so Tapping Cat we have on top here in race 5. The 6 I use in my exacta, Torch of Truth, gets McCarthy 4th in the Maryland Million Classic. You just saw there, but a big effort the time before, a big win at Delaware back in September. So Ness has this 4-year-old by Not For Love in good form. You get McCarthy. It looks like we both have an 8-6 exacta on top. I used the 1 Big City Blues in my trifecta here. Rosado aboard for Lacey Gaudette. This 5-year-old by City Zips comes off the layoff, hasn't run since last February. A couple nice works on the work tab for the comeback. He's 9 for 14 in the money here at Laurel Park. He has some early speed. He's going to have to break sharp from the 1 hole going 7 furlongs, so the break could be the key here for the 1 Big City Blues.
Yeah, get position. I don't know if he's as quick as the horse just to his outside. Destruction, the shipper coming in for Amy Hall for Delaware. Destruction, I think, will kind of go, which might allow Big City Blues a little bit of a breather stand. Just to kind of draft up into the pace. 7/8's a tough distance off the layoff. Going to have to make a move into it. Is he going to have the finish that maybe the 6 and the 8 bring? And I think the 9 might benefit with a little bit more flow as well. Mr. Smurthwaite, they went slow early and just didn't quite kick on. I think he gets a little bit more speed to target today.
All right, so 8-6 on top here for Keith and I in race 5. Let's get a quick commercial break here. The Rainbow Pick 6 starts in race 6, the big feature of the day with a rising superstar. We'll take a look right after this.
When it comes to getting back in the game, there's only one team to turn to. The team more high school, collegiate, and professional athletes train and recover with. That team is MedStar Sports Medicine. For more than 30 years, MedStar has served as a leader in the diagnosis, treatment, and rehabilitation of orthopedic and sports-related injuries. Ranked among the top programs in the Maryland and Washington regions, we offer rapid access to athletes of all levels. Let the pros who treat the pros treat you. MedStar Sports Medicine.
All right, welcome back. Today's big feature of the day is in race 6 to kick off the 20-cent Rainbow Pick 6. We'll have a little carryover to get you going for the weekend, a little over 1,100 in that Rainbow Pick 6. Tim Tulloch has a ticket for it. Let's check it out real quick, see how he plays today's Rainbow Pick 6. Looks like he has some good coverage in all the races. Let's take a look at his single. His single comes in race 10. That's a nice starter allowance going 6 furlongs. The 3, Jumping Michelle, is going to be the favorite in there, but he goes with the 1, Too Much Minutia, 9-2. Trevor McCarthy aboard. I like that filly. I think the favorite, Jumping Michelle, might be a little vulnerable there in race 10. So I like his single. I use that filly. So we'll take a look at that race when we get to race 10. But let's take a look here at the big feature. Race 6, a wide open allowance condition. Filly and mares 3 and up, $55,000 purse, going a mile and a 16th on the main track. Arafana is a potential, well, she's already a superstar. She's undefeated. Let's show you her last dominant win right here at Laurel Park against 2 other than Allowance Company, going a mile for the first time. She drops the hammer on him. She wins by 5.5 with a big 84 buyer.
Yeah, just tracking conjecture. Came back to run well, right? Maryland Million Day. He's just behind Anna's Bandit, but out for a morning stroll, it looks like Arafana. Pimentel 3 and 4 wide, just circling up and just pulls away eagerly under a mild hand ride as our short common in the Equibase chart line. And we adjusted. That time was adjusted. If you look at the final time on the TV, this thing has been adjusted to 35 in 2, which in some of your versions of your racing form, I had in an 80. I think I talked to Andy Byer the other day. Would it go up to about an 84 or an 85?
84.
Okay, so yeah, so she got plenty left in the tank. All right, now she's going to try 2 turns. Her first try 2 turns, she catches a horse to the inside of Shipper, who has plenty of experience at the 2 turns. That's the one tweeting for Jorge Navarro. It looks like one of these 2 in race 6.
All right, so we both have the favorite on top. The 1, though, tweeting, is going to get a ground-saving trip with a crafty veteran rider here. Daniel Centeno might go right to the front on this Uncle Mo 5-year-old mare.
I think she is going to go right to the front. You use that to her advantage. These other horses don't quite, I think, have the speed as she does. And she's faced some killers. Orala just nice to Lake Pontchartrain. She's going to be around a long way. It really should be a very good horse race here.
Sure.
We're going to really see what Arafana truly is, I believe, this afternoon.
Yeah, because she's pretty much jumping the 3 other than allowance condition, going right to
That's
this
the
wide
point
open.
we wanted to make. Yeah, perfect.
So deep water here for this filly by Curlin. Curlin is now the leading sire in the world right now. He's the leading dirt sire in the world right now, the former Preakness winner, Curlin. So let's turn the page here. Race 7 is going to kick off the late pick 5. I have a ticket for the late pick 5. And no carryover. They hit it yesterday, 4,300.
How about that?
2 winning tickets for 4,300 yesterday in the late pick 5. But as always, that industry low 12% takeout. Let's check out my ticket, $48 ticket. We're off the turf in race 7. The 2 and the 13 were entered main track only. They look pretty tough here in race 7. I'm 4 deep there in race 8 with the 5, 9, 10, 11. I couldn't find a single here on this ticket. I have a couple decent prices maybe. In race 10, I think the 3, Jumping Michelle, is vulnerable. I use her, but the 4, Our Star at 8-1 is attractive maybe, and the 6, Olive Cat, could pull off the upset there in race 10. Let's take a look here at race 7 to kick off this big late pick 5. We're going a flat mile on the main track now. This race originally carded on the turf, now off the turf. A flat mile on a fast track. First level allowance condition for Maryland bred, Maryland sired 3-year-olds and upward. The 13 was entered main track only on the far outside. Absolved entered MTO for Claudio Gonzalez. Alex Centron off that big day yesterday. Centron rides this 3-year-old colt. I blame 2 big efforts his last couple starts right here at Laurel Park against first level allowance company, against open first level allowance company. He's run a couple big seconds going long. Now we get a Maryland bred first level allowance spot today for Absolve. So Claudio has found a nice spot for this 3-year-old Maryland bred. I have him on top. You pick him 3rd.
Yeah, I mean, he fits the bill, no doubt. A clunker 3 races back, a game effort closing into Empty Tomb. That was a Delacour runner. Looks like he's got a promising future ahead of him. But I go with Sparty. You look at all these other horses, a lot of them one-time winners. Okay, Sparty, he's won 5 times. Good comeback. I mean, actually, good try for Lacey, first time in the barn last time. I don't think the internals are going to be nearly as demanding. Sparty, to me, looks like the controlling speed up front here with Rosado. We're not going to get 10-1. Sparty.
No, I didn't get to him. What kind of price do you think it'll be? About 4 to 1, 9 to 2?
Yeah,
maybe?
when it's all sitting and coming down off of that, yeah, we've got some other scratches. Don't think I tell you, pretty good year's another one for Ruble. Yeah, you looking at him at first glance, maybe he's a turf horse. He's got a back race on the dirt that would get it done. He looks to me like he's coming back into good form. I think he'll close into it as well. The 14's a price user. Trombetta, the mare, the bottom side. She was a 2-time dirt route winner, going turf to dirt off the sprint, right, and stretching out. This horse is tactical by the seashore. I think he's going to make a move. I think he's going to make a good middle move. Is he going to have enough stamina to hold off some of these other horses? Or can he wear down Sparty? Those two, I think, are going to merge in maybe a little bit of a battle once they hit top of the stretch.
All right, yeah, 14 trying long for the first time. How about the 2 I used in the exact? To Try for Gold entered MTO in this race by Mark Schumann, 3-year-old by Tri-Tap. Sheldon Russell will ride a real big second at Delaware 2 starts ago. Ran okay in the Maryland Million Classic. It was, you see in the comment line there, a little wide. It was between horses. Got beat 6 lengths at 23 to 1. This is a little easier spot today for Try for Gold.
Tracked some other horses that were a little bit better than they had things their own way. Forest Fire up on the front end and Brandini, and that's what happened. The wheels started spinning about the 5/16 pole, and he really couldn't get together. His number still works though. Coming back, he can run that high 70, low 80 kind of number, which is what's going to be. I think that's going to be about it to get it done today.
All right, so let's turn the page here. Race 8, nice maiden special weight. 6, make that 5.5 furlongs on the main track to kick off the late pick 4 maiden special weight for 2-year-old fillies. You have the 8 on top. I didn't use along the way. She had a trouble trip, though, in her debut. We're going to show you that video spotlight from Monmouth Park, maiden special weight, mid-September. Here we go.
Yeah, she's a 2-horse this afternoon. Breaks a little bit slowly, makes a good, pretty steady progression up to the speeds. And I tell you, these horses are up front. Cofactor, Fashion Baby, second-place finisher. Pretty good 2-year-old fillies. They came back to run well. One at Keeneland, running a 66. The other one came back and ran a 66 fire. But goes inside, just doesn't quite have enough, Stan, to go up, assert herself, and get the lead. Ends up steadying back off of rivals into the turn. Even a little sharper steady. But what I like is she's kind of hounded. She's caught inside 3 other horses through the final quarter of a mile, and she never, ever gives up. Showing a lot of heart and determination. She's able to keep on and get the show in here. Yes, she was 12 lengths behind the second-place finisher. It was way through, moves further to the outside, a little bit more of an alert break. I think she's on it or just off of the pace today to get it done. And look at McBurney. Maiden second start, close to 40% with a good ROI. I think she's going to move up off of that debut, and the daughter of Arizona is going to get it done at an okay price.
Sure, well, you get Jevion Toledo to ride for Patrick McBurney, the barn 0 for 4 here at the meet, but we showed you the double trip there for along the way. She got I overlooked her a little bit here, but you'll get a decent price. McBurney recently 42% with maidens making her second start. So 8 along the way. I have the 11 on top here. Princess Adira ran a nice, useful debut for trainer Lacey Gaudette. Maiden special weight early October right here at Laurel, sprinting on the main track. Had the 1 hole in a 7-horse field. Got bet down to 6 to 1. Was 14 lengths out of it down the backstretch. Rallied 6 wide, and it gets up for a real big second. You keep the lead, and Bug Rider Julio Correa aboard today. Much better outside post for the 11 Princess Adira. So I'll go with her on top. Big field. She's going to have to, you hope she doesn't get caught too wide all the way down the backstretch and around the far turn. She looks like she's a closing sprinter. So hopefully Correa can save a little ground around the far turn and then make a nice late run.
Yeah, okay, final time. They got she got a pretty good setup on the front end. They were going at it hot and heavy, and they kind of maybe came back to her. I like the 10 a little bit as well. Dance. Here's that little Stafford O'Dwyer. 2-year-old dirt sprint, second out. 5 for 16, 31%, and 9 for 16 in the money with an ROI of over $6. So horses like Shotsky, Rookie Salsa have kind of fit the bill here. So Cruise and Dance, a little trouble in debut. Lasix goes on today. A middle move. I think you're going to see some improvement for the 10.
All right, we both used the 10 here. The 5 I use there, Central Exit. A couple well-bred first-time starters in here. This 5 Central Exit by Central Banker. They paid $20,000 for this filly, Trombetta. The trainer, some decent works here at Laurel Park, a full work tab, couple good 5 furlong workouts. Pimentel, his main rider, rides here for Country Life Farms. So the 5 Central exit, be interesting to see if she gets bet early. And the other first-time starter in here, the Motion first-timer, the 9 Irish Charmer. You have to figure this filly is going to take some play. Some big bullet works up there at Fair Hill.
The family, Irish War Cry.
Nice
so
family.
That's all you need to know. Half the Irish War Cry.
All right, turn the page here. Race 9, we're on the main track. 6 furlongs to kick off the final pick 3. 2-year-old filly allowance race here in race 9. I have the favorite on top. We both have the 5. Remain Anonymous on top here for Mike Trombetta. Nice debut score at Saratoga. Beaten favorite last out at Parks. Maybe she bounced a little bit there at Parks, but that debut win at Saratoga, they bet her down to one of the favorites that day as well in a big 9-horse field at Saratoga. That tells you something about this filly right there. Right then and there. So we both have Remain Anonymous on top.
Excuse last time out. I think we'll set a trip just off the pace and try to move into it. She'll come back closer to that debut. I think Lady George is a user at a price. We had the video of that?
Yep.
Yeah, let's take a look. I tell you, second out was a pretty good angle. The Lasix went on May the 10th at Pimlico for Lady George and Carla Morgan. And this horse won for fun, kind of. Let's watch this. Picking it up around the turn, leaving past the 3/8 pole, just tracking the duel, rating kindly for Forest Boy, saves ground, and then shifts out 3 to 4 wide. And just kind of watch her. And you see who's in this race? Hello, Beautiful. Ran third. Hello, Beautiful's okay, right?
She won the Maryland Million.
You got
race.
that right. Now watch this filly through the last 3/16 of a mile. Little squirrely, little drift here and there, but just under a steady hand ride through the final 1/8 of a mile. They thought, hey, we got something good here. Let's go down to church and try the debutante. Well, you might have just got frazzled. It was done early. That regrouped. Look at the works leading into this. I think this horse escapes at a price, and she is definitely live, I think, in here to move up at a price.
All right, well, you'll get a decent price there on the 6 Lady George. I didn't use her. Ilchester Cheetah's the only 2-time winner in the race. So I used the 1 Ilchester Cheetah in my exacta, but we both have Remain Anonymous on top there in race 9. Let's turn the page. Race 10 is going to kick off the late daily double, 6 furlongs, nice 25,000 starter allowance. Filly mares 3 and up. The 3 Jumping Michelle going to be your likely popular favorite once again in this race, but she's been the beaten favorite her last 3 times. She likes to rally and finish second, so I think that's what she'll do again today. I go with the 4 Hour Star on top. She's out of a Silmaril, $1 million multiple stakes winner, and looks like this filly finally woke up when they did the barn change, had a little time off, and she dropped the maiden 16. Pick her confidence up, and now we find a nice starter allowance spot facing winners for the first time. Forrest had a nice win yesterday for the Hall of Famer Shug McGahee. I think she's live here on the 4 Hour Star.
Yeah, and I think there's going to be plenty of speed in this race, especially from the one from the rail. We'll probably go ahead and send and take the early initiative. How about the 5, though? Can the Queen? You really don't know. Here's a trainer that just bats at a high percentage, Rodolfo Sanchez Solomon. Was just a head game. Got away with a maiden 16 try on the turf first time out and had a couple challenges. Just repelled every one of them, held firm. Can the Man, he was a horse that could kind of carry speed going a little bit longer. Bottom side, there's dirt here. I think they might have snuck away with one early, and Can the Man right back for me.
All right, let's turn the page. Race 11. We're off the turf here in race 11. 5.5 furlongs. Maiden claiming 40,000 for 2-year-olds. My top pick, and when in doubt, I'm going with my man Chuck C. Lopez. I go with the 4 Palvera by my pal Charlie for trainer Oscar Medica. A good second up there at Delaware last out against Maiden 40. This guy has some speed. He's going to be part of the early pace going 5.5 furlongs. We'll see how far he can go. I have the 4 Palvera on top with my main man Chuck C. Lopez.
Yeah, scratch the 2 out here just for the 9 carry times. I think we're going to see him again later in the weekend. I go with the first. Bernie's on fire, targeted one of the track only, gets it. You go the bottom side. This mare River Angel produced Grand River. Grand River was pretty quick at 2, right? That was for Campbell, if I'm not mistaken. That's good enough for me. Claudia, we know, can get 3-year-olds to win first out.
All right, so we're off the turf in race 11, 5.5 furlongs on the main track. Big 11 race card today. We start 12:25. It's Breeders' Cup Friday. Watch all the action right here at Laurel Park. Dave Robbins coming up next with Scratches and Changes. Good luck.
Good luck.